What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've last posted. Anyways, as you can probably tell by my face, I've been bulking ever since I got back from Thailand. Now I'm headed to Bali, then to Singapore, then Korea in about a couple weeks. So I have around 5 to 6 weeks to diet down. So I thought it'd be exciting to show you guys a full day of eating. I think we've been bulking for about 7 or 8 weeks now, and we're sitting at around 4,000 calories, 600 grams of carbs, 260 grams of protein, and about 68 to 70 grams of fat. For those of you guys that are struggling to hit your calories, hit your macros, this might be a little bit insightful, a little bit educational. It's currently 8 a.m. I usually have my meal around 9 or 10, just because I like to do a lot of work in the morning. But today's pretty packed out, and this is the only time I have to eat breakfast. Anyways, enough of that. We'll go straight into meal one. Welcome to the kitchen. So we've been living in Melbourne for about 3 or 4 months now. Absolutely love it here. However, the weather sucks and you have 4 different seasons in one day. Other than that, it's pretty sick. I mean, the place is amazing. Honestly, thank you guys so much for signing up to coaching, buying the ebooks, and just watching the page, sharing, liking. It's honestly changed my life. You know, growing up, didn't really have much. Now, we were never poor, but we definitely were not abundant. Little things, and I always say this, but literally being able to afford to turn on the heater, especially when it's like 3 degrees in Melbourne, and you know, being able to use the dishwasher if I want to, or use a freaking dryer. All those little things, it means a lot to me. It makes my life more convenient, and it's not a luxury that I had growing up. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not super rich, super wealthy, by no means. There's still a lot of work that we need to do, but it's a pretty good life. You know, I'm very grateful for it. And I never thought that I would be in this position, you know. The reason I like to upload my car a lot is because I want to inspire you guys as well, you know. I mean, if I came from nothing, built it from the ground up, why can't you, right? Same thing, if you like training, if you like going to the gym, if you're watching this video because you like fitness content, if you like going to the gym, you like pushing yourself to the next level, you like, you know, training balls to the wall, feeling the pain, it's all literally the same thing. You can translate the same principles to other areas of your life. But before we get into today's video, quick shout out to MyProtein for sponsoring this video. If you click the link in the description, you can get anywhere between 30 to 45% off their products and supplements, depending on what time of the year that you purchase. Sometimes they're on deals. So definitely check that out if you want to save a couple dollars on your supplements. The first thing I like to do in the morning is take my daily vitamins, which I'll grab from the pantry. So first up, we have vitamin C, great for the immune system and to help with recovery. Then we have Alpha Men by MyProtein as well. This is a multivitamin and contains vitamin B1, B2, B12, B5, D3, E, K1, and the list goes on. So if you need some multivitamins, definitely check this out. Then of course we have omega-3 fish oils. And we also take TUDCA to help with liver function. Again, if you guys want essential vitamins, check out MyProtein, click the link in my bio and save anywhere from 20 to 45%, sometimes even 50%, depending on when you watch this video. So for breakfast, I usually have either eggs with bagels or 2 scoops of protein or protein oats. So I'm gonna have some strawberries and we're gonna grab some oats. And of course, we're gonna grab some whey protein, chocolate peanut butter flavor. Now, a lot of people like to microwave their oats. I don't really enjoy the taste or the texture. So instead, what I like to do is actually cook it on a pan. It tastes a lot better. It does take a little bit more time, but I enjoy it a little bit more. If you have the time, give it a crack. So we're gonna start off with about 100 grams of oats. And now, quickly turn on the stove, chuck this on the top, then add a little bit of water. Now, I don't think this is going to be enough food for breakfast. I might add a bagel or I might add other carb sources. Honestly, I just go by how I feel sometimes, not gonna lie. Back in the day, I was a lot more specific, a lot more regimented, and a lot more to the plan. But as I got older, my priorities started to shift. I definitely could be putting a lot more effort into training, a lot more effort into my physique, but you can only allocate so much mental resources to areas of your life. So rather than, which is what I used to do, training being all the way up here, and everything else around my life, friends, relationships, business, mental development, emotional control, being there, you know, I'd rather bring this down a little bit and bring everything else a little bit up as well. I just rather grow in all areas of my life rather than just purely focusing all my resources into one area and neglecting everything else. Because at the end of the day, let's be real, we just want to be happy, right? I want to enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy training, I enjoy eating, and I enjoy building businesses, spending time with friends, spending time with family, and spending time on myself. Yes, you can argue because of that mindset, you might not make a lot of money or you might not make a lot of gains. Honestly, don't really give a fuck. We are on this planet for such a short period of time. I'd rather have enough resources to live the life that I want, honestly. And by doing that, also being able to help people along the way, being able to inspire people along the way, like that to me is a fulfilling life. I don't want to be a big bodybuilder whose mental health, whose physical health is suffering. I don't want to be a super rich guy owning multiple supercars that lives alone by himself. I'd rather, you know, have enough resources to be able to spend time with my family, spend time with my friends, and just be happy. I think for a long time, I lost who I was, and I was not doing too well mentally, and I became so obsessive. And yes, although that mindset may be great to achieve phenomenal things, but I guess I'm just in a crossroad of trying to understand what I really want to do. And I don't know if I'll ever figure that out, and this is just me being completely transparent with you guys. At least I know for a fact, I've proven to myself that I am capable of putting the work in when I need to put the work in. Anyways, enough of that random tangent. Oats are cooking. You gotta take into account that we will be putting protein powder on it, so that will absorb a lot of the water as well. So we'll let that sit, maybe turn on the heat a little bit. 2 scoops of protein for a nice texture and great flavor. I try to limit my protein supplementation to about maybe 30 to 60 grams per day out of the 250 grams that we eat. So 2 scoops of this is around 40 grams of protein. So I might have another scoop later in the day, maybe another half scoop. Again, I just try to rely on whole foods. So for meal 1, 100 grams of oats, 100 grams of strawberries, and 2 scoops of protein. 1 scoop is 20 grams, so that brings us to around 40 grams. Now the total calories for this meal is 572 calories, 57.9 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and 50 grams of protein. Look, to be honest, I can probably get away with a little bit more carbs, and I should probably have more to eat, to be honest. But we don't have much time. I have a call coming up. I've also been trying to drink a lot more water. It's very important to stay hydrated. Great for your skin as well. All right, so that's meal 1 done. When you start to eat really high carbs, straight after the meal, all you want to do is go to sleep. So trying to do work and eat a lot of food can be a little bit challenging. I notice my mental performance is not as sharp. All I want to do is lay around and go to sleep. Not saying that it can't be done, it definitely can be, but it's just more difficult. So it is currently 12:52. Just wrapped up a couple of calls, a couple of meetings, and now it is time for meal number 2. We're probably a little bit behind calories, to be honest, so I might just have to stack on a little bit more food in the next coming meals. But for meal number 2, we're having 300 grams of jasmine rice and 150 grams of cooked chicken breast. And if I feel a little bit snackish, I might go grab something from the pantry. But ever since I moved out, we don't really have any snacks, which is a good thing. That way we're able to control our diet and cravings a little bit better. Have the scales out. Now, for the people that complain about not having enough time to prep their meals, what I would typically do is grab a whole kilo of chicken breast, chuck it in the oven, season it with a bit of paprika, salt, pepper, a bit of herbs, just depending on how I feel. Again, my goal for food is convenience, simplicity, just to make sure I can get the meals in when I'm jumping between calls, meetings, work, and it just makes sticking to your goals a little bit easier. So literally just grab some chicken breast, chuck that in, make sure it's 150 grams, a little bit over there, so I might break that apart. I don't know if you guys can see, but pretty basic. I like it. Again, if I don't prep my meals, I'll probably miss them and I won't hit my calories. So just gonna chuck it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. All right, chuck that bad boy there, get some rice. And then drizzle some barbecue sauce over it. Ooh, a little bit too much. Grab some salt. Quick tip for people that forget to log their meals. Before I eat it, I always make sure I log that in. Usually I'd like to have some vegetables, some mushrooms, some zucchini, capsicum, spinach. But I kind of ran out and I also just don't have the time to cook because I have to make this video. Might do some grocery shopping later, but that's pretty much it. Simple, just barbecue sauce, rice, salt, and chicken breast. So the total calories for this meal is 635. That's 85 grams of carbs, 5.4 grams of fats, and 54 grams of protein. All right, so just got back from the shops, did a little bit of shopping, just essentials that we were out of. Didn't really shop for food, really. Just got a pack of egg whites, some yogurt for Michaela, and the other stuff is just home stuff, so completely irrelevant. We did, however, get a pack of cookies. I have a massive obsession with cookies at the moment, and because I have the calories, I can eat it. So making the most out of this bulk. Should you be doing it? Probably not on a regular basis and probably not from a health perspective, but for a balance side of things and to sustain healthy relationship with food, which is kind of what I've been trying to do so I don't, go into these dieting phases feeling so restricted. It is currently 3 p.m., so it's been a couple hours since our last meal. During rest days, I still think you should eat the same amount of food if you have the calories available, because it does help with recovery and training performance the next day. So for example, if I don't eat my pre-workout meal today, or if I cut down my calories, I know I'm not gonna be performing as well the day following. So for meal number 3, we are going to have 100 grams of Weet Bix. Now what I like to do is actually crush these up, just to make it mix a little bit better with things. And then I will add 250 grams of milk, specifically almond milk. All right, so we're gonna have 2 scoops of this protein cream formula. I like to use this for my Weet Bix because it creates a thicker texture and it's a lot more enjoyable to eat. Now, what you do is kind of just mix it together. Also, I just got a message from my coach saying that we just increased calories to 4,200. This is probably gonna turn into a full day of eating 4,200 calories. That's really good. I actually like to put this in the microwave. So I'll put it in the microwave for about a minute. All right, so that's that done. You can add peanut butter, you can add sauces, maple syrup, you can even add blueberries. Make sure we log it in so we don't forget. And that brings us to a total of 869 calories. We still have 2,200 calories to go and it's already 3:30. This meal is 113 grams of carbs, 23 grams of fats, and 42 grams of protein. I'm gonna eat this. Tastes so good. You can even bake it. There's so many different ways to make Weet-Bix. Just have to be a little bit creative with it. Okay, so we're now on meal number 4. It is currently 5 p.m. I think we had a meal about 2 hours ago. We have 1 whole egg, 3 egg whites, 100 grams of potatoes, 100 grams of mushrooms, and 200 grams of jasmine rice. That brings this meal to 517 calories, 86 grams of carbs, 5.3 grams of fats, and 2.7 grams of protein. So far, we're in 2,500 calories, and we still have around 1,600 calories to go. Again, super basic meals. I ain't no chef. I like to make things very convenient. Bit of tomato sauce, and there we go. Add a bit of salt, and that's meal number 5 done. Getting pretty late, and we still have 1,000 calories to go, so I don't really know what I'm gonna have for dinner. We'll figure it out. Actually, you know what? Instead of Weet-Bix, we're gonna have some rice flour instead, just to give today a bit of variety. So 100 grams of this, very similar macros, and the way to make it is very simple as well. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of water and stir it at the same time. So it should look something like this. So this is the way we make cream of rice in Australia because we don't actually have the cream of rice in the box. So we have to be a little bit creative and use rice flour. There we go. Now, all we have to do is put it in the microwave for about, let's do 2.5 minutes. And then we're gonna add 1 scoop of protein. All right, so that's 1 scoop of my protein powder. We spilled a little bit, so we're gonna put that in there. All right, so once you put that in, just give it a good mix. Keep mixing it until it has this kind of consistency. Okay, since we made some slight substitutions, this is 500 calories, 84 grams of carbs, 3.7 grams of fats, and 31.7 grams of protein. Now, this isn't super dense, and today, I could have pre-planned today's meals, but I wanted to show you guys a realistic day of what it's like eating, 4,200 calories. For me anyways, some days I spend my time pre-planning the meals. Some days I eat exactly what's given to me in my meal plan. Some days I just kind of go with what I feel like eating. Again, I'm not super strict until I start dieting, just because I don't feel like you need to. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to get that extra 1 to 2 to 3% gains. Hitting your calories, hitting your macros alone can create really, really good results. And at the end of the day, it's whatever's sustainable. If I'm out here eating the same thing consistently every single day for like 2 years, I used to do that. And at the time it was sustainable and I was okay with it. But 3 years later, I kind of just got over it. I'm like, I'm not stepping on stage. I don't plan on going pro, or at least making my way into higher leagues. So it just doesn't really make sense for me. Okay, since it's 8 p.m. and we still have a lot of calories to go, I'm just literally sandwich pressing a bagel, and we're just gonna eat it just like that. So 1 bagel is around 285 calories and 47 grams of carbs. We still have a fair bit of calories to go until the end of the day. Okay, so just going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video. It's the final meal of the day. Honestly, I kind of lost count on how many meals we've eaten today, but Savay came over. Michaela's making some risotto. Super dense in carbs, tastes amazing, and super easy to eat. Now, this meal is around 894 calories. We have 100 grams of mushrooms, 150 grams of risotto rice, half a liter of chicken stock, 150 grams of chicken breast, and 15 grams of cheese. So this entire meal is 894 calories, 129 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of fats with 66 grams of protein. So very, very carb dense, super easy to digest, super easy to chew on, and tastes great. Now this brings the entire day to around 4,200 calories roughly, at around 263 or 70 grams of protein, 580 to 600 grams of carbs,
and just a little bit under 90 grams of fats. Now, I did record this part of the video on a separate day just because I didn't have time. And again, I just wanted to be completely transparent through this video. As you can see, things are hard sometimes to create. There's a lot of production that goes behind content creation, and I'm still in the process of developing my creative team. So in the future, I hope to have produced these videos at a higher quality and at a more frequent basis. But if you enjoyed, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.